Good evening, class, and welcome to Unit 2 review. Now, generally speaking, I try to keep these things short and to the point. So if you have a question, please ask in Piazza, and I'll focus on your particular concern. If not, I will spend some time discussing some of the more difficult concepts in Unit 2. Now, I did want to say one general thing about the fact that this is the summer. Over the summer, I am generally speaking more relaxed. I understand that people have families, they have friends, they like to take vacations, and that even though they're taking a summer course, they don't feel like they should have to be restricted by the same timelines. I understand your feelings, and to a point in the summer, I'm more flexible. So if you're having a problem, if you're going to take a vacation, if you want an extension on something, let me know. There are, however, a couple things I cannot give extensions on. Those are the creative projects and the core concept exam. So if you want to do one of those and get some sort of extension or the like, can't really do that for you. But other than those elements, everything else is fairly flexible. So let's get right into Unit 2. And again, as I said, I will be watching the Piazza forum for comments and questions. But other than that, I'm just going to jump right into it. So let me share my screen. And let's make that full screen, and hopefully that will get rid of that weird infinity shot. So that is kind of interesting, isn't it? Wow. All right, let me just share this full screen and make this a little bigger. So hopefully everyone can see that well. Now I'm going to start with time signatures because a lot of things relate to time signatures, and it's fairly easy to discuss starting from this point. This is generally where people start to have trouble. They understand that a quarter note can have 2/8 notes, a quarter note can have 4/16 notes, or a quarter equals 2 halves. I mean, this is just sort of math and fractions. They understand that. But when it comes to meters, there's some trouble. So one thing to keep in mind with meters is there's 3 general types. There's duple, there is triple, and there is quadruple. And those use those, Greek and Roman root words. So duple. We know that from duo, and triple we know from tripod, 3, and quadruple. I mean, you hear that all the time with quadcopters, those little drone things that you can buy and annoy your neighbors with. So 2, 3, and 4, that's it. And from those, there are 2 flavors. So we have 2, 3, and 4 in simple, and 2, 3, and 4 in compound. So this is where it gives people trouble. But let's just start with simple. And remember, simple has beats that can divide into 2. So here are a large variety of simple meters that divide into 2. And I'm going to start in this top corner. And I'm hoping everyone can see 2, 8. 2, 8. So I have 2 on the top and 8 on the bottom. This simply tells me that it's one of my 3 types, right? 2, 3, or 4. Duple, triple, quadruple. This is duple 2, and there's going to be 2/8 notes. So in this type of music, there'll be two beats, and the beats are going to be 1/8 notes. Here are 3/8 notes. So there's going to be 3 beats, and the beats are going to be 1/8 notes. 4/8 notes. 4 beats. 4/8 notes are going to be the beat. But if I continue on, for instance, 2, 4, 2 quarter notes, 3 quarter notes, 4 quarter notes for 4, 4. But it also tells me in a more simple way how many just durations are in the bar. There's 2/8 notes in the bar. The duration for the entire bar will be 2/8 notes of time. Or if I look at 2 half notes, 3 half notes, 4 half notes. So that tells me not only what note is the beat. For instance, 2, 2, the bottom note is a half note, but it also just tells me how many of them there are. there are 2 half notes. Now that's important when we get to compound, and it's compound that gives people trouble. So let's scroll down to compound. Okay, now compound, again, it's in duple, triple, or quadruple. And you'll notice pretty much, we're not trying to fool you, the numbers are 6, 9, and 12. Now 6 is always duple, so 6 divided by 3 is 2. 9 divided by 3 is 3, triple. 6 is always duple. And 12 divided by 3 is 4, quadruple. Now the difference is, here you're not told what the beat is. You're told what 3 of the beats are. So for instance, let's start with 2/16. What do I know about 2/16? Well, I know there's 6 16th notes. So in 2/16, that's really, frankly, the most important element when you're marking bar lines, when you're filling in blanks, when you're trying to figure it all out. 6 16th notes, 9 16th notes, 12 16th notes. You know exactly how many 16th notes there are. But what this does not tell you is what the beat is. So the beat is 3 16th notes. Or sorry, let's start in 2/16. In 2/16, all right, I'm gonna breathe. I'm gonna take a breath. In 6/16, we have 2 beats. 6 divided by 3. So how many 16ths make up a beat? 3 16ths. And 3 16ths are a dotted quarter note, or dotted eighth note, right? And what a dotted eighth tells me is I have an eighth time plus half again as much. So an eighth plus the 16th. And an eighth divides into 2 16ths. So 3 16ths possible. And 9 16ths. So what I get is 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then 3 16th notes is what a beat is. So so I have 9 16th notes in the bar, but each beat is a dotted eighth. So let's see if I can pull up a palette and let's try some of these, because I think it'll be a little clearer. All right. I'm going to take this off of full screen just for a second. Okay. All right. So let's see if I can make that a little clearer than that. So let's just for the sake of review, let's do a simple. Here's 4/4. I know that there's 4 quarter notes. And I know that the beat is a quarter note. Anything with the 2, 3, and 4 is going to on top is going to be simple. So in this each quarter is going to divide into 2/8. No problem. And really, it's these use of quarters and eighths and halves instead of what was the European style of called quavers and semiquavers. It makes it seem like there's a proportional relationship, and there is when we're dealing in simple meters. But when we get to compound meters, it becomes more complicated. So if it has a 6, I'll just stick it over here, a 9 or a 12, it's going to be different. So let's look at a common one, 6 8. Now when I see a 6, I divide it by 3 to get 2. That means it's going to be duple. But I know just from 6 8 that there's going to be 6 8 notes. So if I just put my 6 8 notes, and these are just like here I got 4 quarters, which divides into 8 eighth notes. Here I have 6 eighth notes. So here's 6 eighth notes, and I know that 6 8 is duple, which means I'm going to divide that measure in half. So right there, those are my beats. I've taken 6, I've divided them by 2 because that's how many beats there are. Now, that would mean there's 1/8, or 1/8 plus 1/8 is a quarter, and I have one more eighth, so dotted quarter, dotted quarter. There's my 6/8, and if I wanted to do something similar, I can do 9/8. Or how about we do something a little more complicated, 9/4. This is also compound. I know that there is 9 quarter notes, so I can put 9 quarter notes. If I can fit them here, I'll be impressed. Oops, don't want a half note. And if we remember, when we see a 9, we divide 9 by 3 and get 3. So this tells me this is a triple meter, which means I'm going to divide the bar into 3s. So here's my bar divided into 3s. So my beat, 1 beat, 2 beat, 3 beat, is 3 quarter notes, or a half plus 1. So my beat is a dotted half note. So here's what I often see in the homework. And if we look in 3/4, what does 3/4 tell us? It tells us we have 3 beats, and the beat is a quarter note. It often also tells us that we would be 6/8 notes, right? Because we can divide each into 2. So I've put it under 6/8 so you can see something. Because in 3/4, I know I have a triple beat. So the beat is divided into 3 parts, or a triple meter. So the meter is divided, the measure is divided into 3. So here in 3/4, we see that I have 3 beats, but each beat is only worth 2/8 notes. In 6/8, I have 2 beats, but each beat is worth a dotted eighth note. And what I often see is in homework assignments with 6/8, students will put it in 3/4. Instead of giving me 2 beats, they'll give me 3 beats. And this is why we use beams. So for 6/8, when a performer is playing in 6/8, and ultimately we're notating it for performers, right? Not for our own enjoyment, but we want people to play our music. Let's see if I can. I'll just stick it over and hopefully get the idea. With 6/8, we get 2 beats, which are 3/8 notes in length, like that. So the beams actually tell me what the beat is. And without the beams, I don't know whether I'm in 3/4 or 6/8 visually, because I don't want to have to think about it when I'm performing your music. I just want to play, right? Or whoever's playing your music. Similarly, when we're looking at 3/4, we have 3 beats. So we want the beams to show us these 3 beats very carefully. So here's where people get in trouble with meters and beats. 3/4 says I have 3 beats. It's triple, so I'm going to divide my 3 quarter notes, my measure that's 3 quarter notes long, into 3 parts. 6/8 says duple, so I'm going to divide my 6/8 notes into 2 parts. So hopefully that made everything a little clearer. Let me check and see if I'm getting any Piazza questions. Nothing yet. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Fill in the blank. Well, we've done some of this, and I ask you to pick a single value. So in 9/8, if we just remember what 9 tells us, 9 tells us it's triple, and sorry, 9 tells us it's quadruple, right? Sunday afternoon. 9 tells us that we're in a triple meter. That means we're going to divide our 9 eighth notes into 3 parts. So if I was to just, very quickly put 9 eighth notes here. Doesn't want to give me another one. Oh, maybe that doesn't make this. If I divided into 9 eighth notes, I'd have 3, right? 3 here already, so I need 6 more eighth notes to fill this up. So let's grab one of these guys. A dotted half. And a dotted half is a half note plus a quarter, so 6 more eighth notes. Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 1 more eighth note. Oops. That's really giving me grief. 1 more eighth note. Doesn't like that I've made it large. Okay, here I have 6 eighth notes. I need 3 more eighth notes. So a quarter plus a dot. And here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3 quarters. So what do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 eighth notes. And then a dotted 16th note is a 16th note dot. So in order to fill out the last eighth note, I need a 32nd note. Well, that's kind of hard, I must admit. So there would be the answer, but let's do another one. Here we have 4 quarter notes, and let's just look what we already have. We have 1, 2 in the half, 3. We have 3 and a half. So in order to make 4 quarter notes, we need an eighth. Here we have 1, 2, 3, and then we have 3 16th notes, right? An eighth plus 1. So we need 1 more 16th note. Now we have 4. Here we have 3 quarters. We need 4 quarters. Let's grab 4 quarters. Here we have 2 halves. Or sorry, we have a half, so we need 2 more quarters, which is another half. All right. Here we have 2 4. That means we have 2 beats, 2 quarter notes worth of time. Here we have 4 5 16th notes, so we need 3 more 16th notes. What would that be? Well, it's not an eighth note because that's just 2 more. So we need 3 more. There we go. Here we have 1, 2, 3 and a half eighth notes, so we need 4. So 1 more 16th note. Here we have 1 quarter note. We need 2 quarter notes total. Here we have 1 and a half quarter notes, so we need another half. Here we have nothing, so we need a half rest. Here we have 1 quarter and a 16th note, means we need 3 more 16th notes. When we did this one earlier, E. Let's see if we can get another compound here. Here we go. Here we have 9 eighth notes in the bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's it. So let's see if we can push on to fill in the blank bar lines. Let's do some bar lines. And again, I will answer questions if people have them. Let's give it a second to load up. Okay. Okay, so here we have quadruple, right? 4, 2. And this is a simple meter, right? So we're going to want 4 half notes. 1 half note. 2 quarters is a half. 2 quarters is a half. Half. 2 quarters, 2 quarters, half, 2 quarters, 2 quarters, a quarter and 2/8. That's two. It's a half note, half note, half note, half note. Here we say the same thing. 3 quarter, or sorry, we have 3, so it's triple half notes. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Here we got a quarter and 2/8. That's a half. Quarter, 2/8. 2 quarters and a half. Let's do a compound one. Here we have 6, 8. Now in compound, that would be 6 divided by 3 is 2. So it's going to have two beats in the bar. We're going to divide the bar in 2. But more importantly, for this homework assignment, we want 6/8 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each one of these dotted quarters are 3/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we have 6 16th notes. So 1/16, 2/16 notes is an eighth. So it's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So each one of these groups of 2/16 is worth 1/8. And I'll do one more. So here we have 12, 8. The 12 is going to be divided by 3, so 4 quadruple. So we have we want 4 equal divisions of the bar to make our beats. And we have 8 on the bottom, so we're going to have 12 eighth notes in the bar, and each beat is going to be a group of 3 3/8 notes. So dotted quarter. So 4 dotted quarters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, and I'm counting eighth notes here. 1, 2, 3 for the dotted quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's move on to the last and most frustrating homework assignment for most people who do this. And again, don't forget to ask questions even after if you come back and want to watch this at some later time and you have questions which aren't being answered, and you can always ask them right underneath here in the forum. Let's get this to start. I think eCollege is having some issues today, so it's got some slow loading. Now, remember, we were talking about beams a little earlier. Beams kind of make it clear where the beat is. So remember, in 6/8, we have 2 beats. And so we have 6/8 notes in the bar, but those are going to be divided into 2 groups. So 2 groups of 3/8 notes. So here we have 1, 2, 3/8 notes. Bam. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now remember, with these reds, we don't want you to touch, right? Now, why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be this? Right? Because you can't see the beat, right? Remember, we have 2 beats. We don't have 3 beats. We don't have 4 beats. We have 2. 6/8. 6 tells me I have 2 beats in the bar, which means I've got to take my 6/8 notes and divide them into 2 evenly. So 3/8 notes and 3/8 notes. This is 4/8 notes, so that's not going to work. 4/8 notes, 2/8 notes, not going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I have 1, 2 eighth notes worth of time, so I need one more eighth note, 3/8 notes. Not everything has to be under a beam, because the beam shows us where the beat breaks, right? Right here in the first measure between the third and the fourth eighth note. Here we have 1, 2, 3, so we need 4, 5, 6. We need to finish up the bar. We have an 8th and 2/16, or 8th and 4/16 notes. There we go, like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here we have 2 8th notes. If I add one more 8th note, I get 3 8th notes. That means the first 8th, 2/16 8th is going to be the first half of the measure, and then the quarter and the 8th are going to be the second half of the measure. I seem to really have enjoyed this particular issue when I made this homework assignment. So there's quite a few of these. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. So here we still have 3 8th notes worth of time under one beam. Here with B, when we look back at B, we still have 3 8th notes worth of time under one beam. And in all cases, we can sort of draw an invisible line right down the middle of the measure. You can see exactly where that breaks. And here we have 1, 2, 3 to make one half of the bar. 1, 2, 3 to make the second half of the bar. Let's do another one. Now 3, 4, this is different, right? This is triple. We need 3 divisions of the bar. So we're going to divide the bar into 3 beats. So we have the same number of 8th notes, but we have only 3 beats. So instead of 6 divided by 3 is 2, we have 3. Sorry, let me start again. Instead of our in 6/8 where we have 3 8th notes equaling 1 beat, here we have 2 8th notes equaling 1 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, and here you can see we're dividing the beat into 3 parts, right? We still have the same number of 8th notes in 3, 4 as in 6, 8. There's still 6 8th notes, but in 3, 4, it's divided into 3 parts instead of 2 parts. So we don't have as many in each part. And just so you can see the difference, why does it matter? Let's do this. Above, I'm notating it in 6, 8. And below it's in 3, 4. So just look at that. Can you see the difference, right? Here we see the bar and the red notes. Imagine we're up here, but here we can see the bar divided into 2 parts, and here we can see the bar divided into 3 parts, and it makes a big difference. So if I do the 6, 8, in the 3, 4, it's See, there's quite a different sound between 6, 8 and 3, 4, even though it's got the same durations, the same notes. It's all down to these little beams in terms of what people play. So let's continue here. We're trying to make three beats in the bar. So let's do here. This is an 1/8 and 2/16 that equals 1/4, and then 2 8ths equals 2 quarters, and then we already have 1/4. And here we have 1/4, 2 8ths, 1/4. And what I'm realizing is I think these are the same examples. So here I have you notate it in 6, 8, and here I have you notate it in 3, 4. And I guess it's kind of hard for me to get them into the same, but here you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And you can see where I'm breaking the beams, like right in the middle of the bar, because I'm dividing the bar into 2 parts. It's duple. Here it's triple, so I'm dividing into 3 parts. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. Let's see. We have 3, 4. There's 3 beats in a bar. Quarter note is the beat. So 1 beat, 2 8ths equal 1/4. 8th 2/16 notes equal 1/4. That's 2 beats. 8th 2/16 notes equal 1/4. 2/8 equal a quarter, 2/8 equal a quarter, 2/8 equal a quarter, 4/16 notes equal a quarter. And this is tricky, right? So what's left? I have these 4/16 notes. I have 2 beats, which is a quarter note, and an eighth note. So I need another eighth note right there. So that one's a little tricky here. We ask you to remember how you can break the bar up. Sorry, it's 2/16 notes. And remember that sometimes these quarter notes will float like this. I believe we talked about it in one of these early lectures. But regardless, if we just kind of looked at it maybe in the background, it would look like this, and then these two durations would be tied across. So you can see 2/16 notes, quarter note, these middle 2/8 notes tied, and then an eighth note. Last bar, 2/8 notes, 2/8 notes, eighth note, and 2/16 notes. Okay, so I've gone through a few of these beaming examples, and if you're watching, you're getting all the answers, and that's good. And if you have any more questions, I am more than happy to answer them. Just so you know, this is the hardest probably homework assignment in the entire course, and it's worth 2 points, so it's not nothing. But don't forget, you can check in the back. You can ask me questions. But this will not show up on the Core Concepts exam. We'll not ask you to do this. And the assignments that are on the Core Concepts exam are earlier in the unit and are generally easier. So don't feel too distracted if you're having trouble with them. So I'm going to check one more time on the Piazza form, and then I'm going to sign out. Okay, no questions. Well, it's been fun watching me trip over the verbs here. All these triples, duples, quadruples, eighths, 16th. It gets difficult to just physically talk about. So I understand that it can also be kind of intimidating. So ask questions, watch the video, read the lessons, try the homework. Check the grade book to see which ones you're getting wrong. And hopefully everyone will survive through Tuesday, and I will be available. So thanks for listening if you made it all the way through.